Good morning. Welcome to Friday Mornings with Luann and Tim. We did it. Well, we did it again. One more week under our belt. Thank you to Casey Security for sponsoring the show. I have something I have to talk about right off the bat. This is the weirdest thing I've seen in so long. Julianne Hough.
Okay.
Right?
Dancing
phenom.
Yeah, and what was the show? Dancing
with the Stars.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So she was on that, and she's now, she had been judging on another show, and they've released her. Yes. And they've released her since then.
She was dancing on that America's Got Talent.
She was judging on America's Got Talent.
Right.
Yeah. And they dismissed her and the other girl that was on the panel. So there's some issues there. But I watched a video like 2 seconds ago that is the weirdest thing that I have seen, and I felt embarrassed for her.
Oh.
She's on a massage bed, fully clothed, and a doctor is there, and he's in Davos, Switzerland, for the big summit, and he's talking about this procedure that he does, this massage, I suppose, where it forces the body to release energy.
Okay.
So she's face down, and like she's doing this with her head, and then she's doing that, and then he touches her like right back here.
Yeah.
And then he goes and touches right at the top of her bum.
Okay.
Right at so for a second you think, what is he doing? And then all of a sudden she looks like a caterpillar. Her body is twitching and writhing. Look at her. And he's not touching her right there.
So what?
So, and then at one point she did that, and then after those big movements, that's when she twitches and stuff. And then she just lets out this huge scream. And I was thinking to myself, I'd be embarrassed. I don't know. I felt bad for her. I don't know if she knew what she was up for. Like, seriously. She looked like the Exorcist had gotten her something. The devil was in her. I was scared for her. Seriously. She just went like, and then at one point she almost fell off the bed, and like I said, the guy was not touching her at that point. He must have touched
points he
must have released there, and then like, at your tailbone maybe? I don't know, but he touched her there, and then took his hand and went like that and touched her top bum, and she, honest to goodness, I
have to go see this on the break.
Was like a bad accident, when you shouldn't look because there might be blood, and you look anyway. I was just like, what is she doing? He looks like he's hurting her.
But was she happy at the end?
I don't even know. I don't care. It was traumatic for me. Don't do it again, Julianne. You don't need it. You have so much going for you. You don't need to do that.
Wow, I can't wait to see this. I need to try
honestly.
It. Can anybody? I wonder.
I would have to try it in private. I mean, seriously, I could not. Plus, I bet my back would go out. I'm too old for that.
Do it on national television.
Well, that's the thing, right? I'm like, what are you? Okay, you're a dancer. Show off. Like, if I went like that, I'd go crank, and releasing energy, my back would be locked, and I'd be, this is great. I'd be yelling out, all right.
Oh my God! Well, thank you for that, because it's Global Belly Laugh Day. So I've had my It's Global Belly Laugh Day. So I've had my belly laugh for the day.
That's awesome.
And then you talk about Julianne Hough.
And you know what? Blake Lively, who just had her third child, with Ryan Reynolds, who's adorable.
Wait, Ryan Reynolds is married to somebody named
Blake Lively.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, she had their third child, and she says she misses her abs. And I, you know what? I can identify with that. My baby's 28 years old now, and I'm waiting for my abs to come back.
Luann, I'm barren, and I still miss my abs.
I'm barren. Look how sweet. Those are her first two little ones. When
he's Canadian.
Yes, he is.
There's going to be a really Canadian, I think I've got this right, at the Grammy Awards, a huge Canadian presence.
Yes, I have some names.
Shawn Mendes, Drake, and is Justin Bieber going to be there?
I don't know. I didn't see that. I saw Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello together.
Okay.
Northern Cree from Alberta.
Right.
They're up for their 9th Grammy. Jessie Reyes, who's a former Argonauts cheerleader. She's huge. Okay. Drake. Michael Bublé, of course.
He's performing?
No, he's up for a Grammy.
He's up for a Grammy.
For the song he wrote for his son when his son was sick. Oh my word. Oh my word. You told me
about that one. Did you cry?
Oh my gosh. Every time I hear it, I cry. I have every CD he's ever made, so when I'm in the car and I have a distance to drive, I stick the CD in, and they're in order of my preferences, as you can imagine. And I scream and yell and sing, and my arms are waving around, and I'm sure people are looking at me on the highway going, what is she on?
She's on Buble. She's on Buble.
Buble. Okay. Seriously. He's just so.
But I think it's if I'm not mistaken, Shawn Mendes is performing. Is that right?
With Camilla.
And Drake is performing, I believe.
Yes,
I think I heard that Bieber was going to perform.
You know what?
I could be wrong, but I remember I thought, ooh, 3 Canadian heavy hitters performing at the Grammys.
Imagine. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Bieber, he was at a playback party a couple of days ago. Because for his album called Changes.
He's got an album, but he also has a documentary coming out.
So does Taylor Swift. I guess it's the thing to do these days. I guess so. Because you're 14 now and you need to have a documentary about your life. But anyway, he, in front of about 100 people at this playback party, broke into tears. And he said, I don't even think I should be alive, never mind thrive. He said, thank you for loving me at my worst. And he's sick. He has Lyme disease. He just got over chronic mono. And of course his mental health issues and all of the above.
And that mustache that nobody likes.
Nobody could see. But you know, I felt bad for him, but he's very, very emotional. And he said, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be all right. It's been a tough couple of years, but I got this.
I thought, oh, okay. Yeah.
So maybe he's going to go. Wouldn't that be awesome? All those Canuckians?
He's grown up so much.
He has. You know what? And
before our very eyes.
When I was reading the story that I was just talking about, the picture of him, he looks mature now.
Yes. You know, his whole face changed.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten longer faced and slimmer. And yeah. Your turn.
It's peanut butter day.
Ooh.
How do you feel about peanut butter?
I like peanut butter.
Do you?
I can't do the crunchy peanut butter.
See, most women don't.
Pardon?
In a survey, 72% of men will choose smooth peanut butter, and 72% of the population prefers smooth peanut butter. Okay, 28% of the time, women will choose chunky, but for the majority of the time, women choose smooth. Only 28%, whereas 35% of the time, men will choose chunky.
Really? See, chunky to me is like you're crunching on those little things, and what are they really?
They're peanuts.
They're telling me they're peanuts.
They're parts of the late Mr. Peanut.
Listen to this.
They killed off Mr. Peanut. And you know the little guy with the
top
hat, the monocle and the cane and the. Did he have a monocle?
Yes.
And the cane and the top hat, Mr. Peanut. Well, so he's driving in a peanut-mobile in a commercial with a couple. Who were the actors? It's 2 famous actors. Anyway, the peanut-mobile goes off the road. It crashes, and Mr. Peanut and the 2 actors are hanging from a look. Who are those actors? They're hanging from a branch, and the branch is going to break.
Snipes,
Wesley Snipes and that other guy. And
oh my God! Oh my God!
No, look, it gets worse. It gets worse. Luann, no, he's
dead.
He's roasted.
He's roasted and toasted.
That's a roasted Mr. Peanut.
How old was he?
I'll tell you. 104.
104, and they killed him off just like that.
You know, you're a peanut.
His contract's up,
You're
buddy.
a peanut, and you live 104 years. I mean, you survive so many things in those 104 years, and then you die in you sacrifice your life for 2 second-rate actors.
And you probably don't even taste good anymore, because you're 104. You're probably rotten inside.
Oh, your nuts are rotten.
They are.
They're all brown and...
Okay.
So anyway,
so
he's dead.
Are they bringing somebody else in?
Well, we're going to find out during the Super Bowl, because they purchased a huge ad block of time in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right.
And that's when his funeral is going to be.
What?
I'm telling you, it's a gimmick. Chances are they'll come out with a new roasted peanut or something,
it'll be a dream. He'll have dreamt,
like in Dallas,
right? He'll have dreamt that he died, but he'll
For those of you who don't know, there was an entire season of Dallas where they killed somebody.
Who shot JR?
Well, no, it was the other one. It was the brother, Patrick Ewing, wasn't it? Who's Patrick Ewing? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Patrick.
Patrick was the actor.
Yes.
Anyway, he
Bobby.
comes.
I think it was Bobby Ewing.
Bobby Ewing, played by Patrick, what's his name?
Yes.
And there was a whole entire season And then at the end, you come back beginning of the next season, and he's coming out of the shower alive because the whole thing was a dream.
I think that was
That's what I did in grade 4 with my compositions. And then I woke up.
I think that was JR. Who killed JR? I think that's what it was.
Really?
I think
and JR was still alive?
Pardon me, I think so.
It's been a long time since we watched Dallas. I'll tell you.
It sure has.
Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, so she appeared in, I didn't know this, 28 episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. And she also appeared in 2 films as Guinan, which was she's a bartender, right?
Yes, she is.
The mysterious bartender, and she dispenses advice to the Enterprise crew. Well, CBS All Access is doing the new series, Patrick Stewart's, it's called Star Trek Picard.
She has a mop on her head.
That's her dreadlocks, but apparently she's losing her hair at the same time, I heard.
Aww.
There's a story about that I haven't followed up on.
She should not have white.
Well,
there.
Can I tell my story?
Sorry.
So, okay, so she's good. So she, they already had 1 season of Star Trek Picard. So they had Patrick Stewart on The View.
Right.
And Patrick Stewart says, Whoopi, on behalf of, what's his name, senior executive producer Alex Kurtzman and his colleagues, including Patrick Stewart, who is a co-producer, I would officially like to invite you to reprise your role as Guinan on the 2nd season of Star Trek Picard.
No way.
She laughed and cried and said yes.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
But then Kevin,
so cool.
Kevin, who's a real Star Trek guy out there, you know Kevin, he says that the first episode apparently of the first season has gotten such horrid reviews that there's not even a guarantee, even though he announced, hey, join us on the show, Whoopi, there's a chance the 2nd season might not happen if things continue to go as badly as they have for the first season.
Maybe they should put Whoopi in now.
It's already filmed, Luke.
Everybody needs a drink.
It's already filmed. Already filmed. My first guest is already filmed, but that's not going to make it any less fun or interesting. Adrian Sullivan came by yesterday. Adrian was the winner of the Sault Got Talent. And the Sault Got Talent team has gotten together, Barbara Ranyovich and Mariana Nacarado, and they've put together the top scorers, the finalists from the Sault Got Talent competition. And I was the judge for the finals, so I can tell you, amazing vocalists, bands, great performers, all. They're going to be performing for the opening ceremonies of Bon Su.
Oh, awesome.
Right. So Adrian stopped by, and Adrian's a local singer-songwriter, 20 years old, and he wrote this song and performs it. You got to listen.
Really?
I love it. So we have that coming up first, and then Edie joins us from the Bushplane Museum to talk about Bon Tots. Plus, it's Fur and Feathers Friday with the Humane Society, and my pal Luann here has the news for us coming up. All that and more on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Angelo, it's me, Vito. Imbecile, your brother. Listen, you bring 10 gallons of flat eggshell of white paint.
This past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
This is ONNtv.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. This is kind of a special interview for me because this guy here is an old friend of mine. Old. Adrian Sullivan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So our first time meeting was probably when you were, do you remember how old you were when you did The Wizard of Oz?
Would have been about 9.
9 or so?
8 or 9,
yeah, okay. So Adrian was a flying monkey.
Yeah. And a munchkin, too.
And a munchkin, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I double cast you.
Yeah, you double cast me.
He's just that good. He can do both.
Yeah, it was the Lollipop Guild, I think.
Yeah, you were the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. And then your brother Winston's been on the show also, and Winston started as Shrek recently for the Comedy Guild, but he's back in Toronto now, yeah?
Yeah, he's in Toronto.
So you're still in Sault Ste. Marie, and you, my friend, won the Sault's Got Talent this year.
Yes.
Congrats.
Thank you.
$1,000 prize.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Spent?
Yeah. I went into some new gear that I got. I got a delay, and I got a few other pedals that I needed, and it was good.
Invested wisely.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I know your family a little bit, and I know a little bit about the history of your music. Your dad influenced you with his musical taste. Is that true to a certain extent?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when I was a kid, there was just lots of different music going on always, and like my dad, he listened to some more kind of weird, what people typically consider weird. You know, like he liked Steely Dan and a lot of like kind of weird jazz type things. And
I don't think that's weird, but okay.
No, but some of their deeper cuts.
Generationally, I don't think it was weird, but I guess maybe for a kid your age, for an 8-year-old to be listening to Steely Dan was probably definitely kind of off the beaten track. What Beatles were an influence for you too, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Beatles are probably my biggest influence. That's where it all kind of stemmed off from.
Right.
When I started writing music.
When did the writing start?
I was 15, I think. Okay. Well, like when I was a kid, actually, when I was about like 9 or so, I got really into AC/DC and like I started writing. Yeah,
I remembered that. There was a song that you sang. Did you sing like a song for a mic check once? We were all like, "What is this kid singing?"
Yeah, it was for an audition. I can't remember what, but it was. They said, "Yeah, you can sing whatever you want. Just sing like maybe Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something like that." And I was like, "Can I do Born to Be Wild?"
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Okay, go for it." And I just like belted it and like, yeah, it was pretty.
So the writing started at about 15.
Yeah, that's when I really started.
What about the guitar? Self-taught lessons? Your dad? How'd that happen?
Yeah, it was when I got into AC/DC. I really wanted a guitar. I really wanted to start playing the guitar, and luckily all their songs are like E, D, and G, like a couple chords, right?
Chords.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to learn those songs. And then I kind of put it down for a few years, and then when I was 15, I started getting back into it, like because I got into like rap and like techno music and kind of went through a little few phases of different things, and but then I came back to it when I was 15 because I got into the Beatles, and then I was like, wow, like this, like because I never really got into all their music. I just knew like the popular stuff, but then once I really got into all their different music and realized how much there was, it was like wow. And then I thought I could maybe do that too, you know, like some of the
For me,
writing.
the thing about the Beatles is it's almost symphonic what they write. You know what I mean? Like, and it also doesn't all sound the same either.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I mean. Yeah, the diversity in the music. I found that really inspiring.
Yeah. Okay. So now, when you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
So your songwriting, I'm guessing it's evolved with time too, and pretty cool also that all of those musical influences have been in your life, including all the rap stuff as well. Because then you got rhythms and stuff that you probably hadn't been thought of before until you heard it in rap and that kind of stuff, and the jazz. So what would you, if somebody had to sort of say the style of music that you write, could you label it, or would you just rather say it's Adrian?
Yeah, it's pretty Adrian. Like, because it is just, I do kind of try and do different things and experiment with different things. Like on my SoundCloud, I just put out a song called Apocalypse 2020, and it was like a thrash metal song. And I don't really make metal music normally, but I was just like, I'm going to try it because I just also like that. So yeah, I don't know, maybe you could probably generally classify it as just rock if you want it, because it's normally kind of rock, but sometimes I do kind of funky things too, or like, I kind of try to just.
Do you have a recording studio at home, or what do you do?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I call it a studio per se, but I do have. I have like a USB interface, so I can plug in my guitar and all my inputs into the computer and get like a sound from it.
Right.
And then I have like a recording program on there that I learned how to use in high school actually, because we had like recording classes.
Were you Cora?
Yeah, Cora. Yeah.
Yeah. Who taught those classes? I think he's still there.
It was Peter White.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if Peter's still there. Is he?
I don't think he is. I think the last year I left. He
was a great teacher when it came to teaching you guys how to do all the boards and all that mixing.
Yeah,
stuff,
if it wasn't for Peter White, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing, to be honest. Because he really helped fostered.
And he was
that.
a writer too, Peter.
Yeah, and he was a writer too. Yeah, and he had a lot of really good songs. We actually mixed some of his songs in the class too. Yeah.
I was asking you if you even have an idea of how many songs you've written at this point. You really don't, do you?
Yeah, not really. It's definitely a high amount because a lot of them kind of get thrown away too, or like I don't end up.
Or sometimes they
recording
evolve
them.
into a part of a song that you've written. That could probably work with this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I try to just always if you go through my phone, my voice recordings, I have hundreds of things of just little things that I would do, and then that I think of, and then I'll start being let me get that down before I forget about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, writing inspirations, lyrically, where's it come from? Just experiences, not even things that have happened to you, made up stuff. What?
It's kind of a mix, I think, for lyrics. A lot of times, the lyrics are kind of the last thing for me.
Okay.
Because I try to focus on the actual music a little bit more, and then the lyrics are kind of sometimes a little throwaway for me.
Yeah.
But I'd say they're pretty inspired from just things that I've experienced or been thinking about or something like that, and I want to just get it out of my system almost and put it into something.
Do you journal?
A little bit. I used to. Yeah.
I don't.
It's hard to make the habit.
I've always been told. I know. That's the thing. It takes commitment.
Yeah.
Now that's the other thing. The commitment to the music. You're pretty serious about this, right? This is something that you really are going to go for, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I really.
I'm excited about that, and I think the audience will be too when they actually hear you, because there's something about the whole vibe you got going on that is really appealing to listen to and to watch when you perform. Bands. Have you done bands before, Adrian? I'm not even familiar. Have you been parts of bands? Do you ever perform with a group?
Not up until recently, but now I'm with a band. We're called. We're called the Uncanny Valley, and
the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, the Uncanny Valley, and we just did our first show actually at the Canadian New Year's Eve.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we can look for that in the future as well, Uncanny Valley.
And you can find us on Facebook too. We have a couple of videos up, and you can contact us if you want us to come do anything for you. Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Good promotion. What about the Sue's Got Talent? Was that something that you had to push yourself to do? Were you nervous about it? Were you completely comfortable going into a competition like that?
Well, my mom kind of informed me about it, told me about it, and kind of bugged me a little bit and said, hi Mom.
I call him my Sharona. I love my Sharon. Anyway, she told you about the competition.
Yeah, she told me about it, and then I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. I didn't actually realize at first that it was the 4-week thing, and then once I got into it,
you were once you're in, you got to keep going back to defend your title.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I didn't even realize that was the kind of competition it was. But once I found that, I was like, okay, that's really cool. So, yeah. So
was it tough for you coming up with different material every week?
Not really, because all those songs I already had written. Right. And so, yeah.
Okay, so now the scoop is that it went so well, and you end up, the talent that we saw over those weeks was incredible, right? Mm-hmm. So we ended up with, I think there's about 5 different acts that are going to be performing as part of the Bon Sioux Winter Carnival opening on January the 31st, Friday, January 31st at the Machine Shop. So you're going to be performing as the winner of the Sue's Got Talent, along with some of your co-performers who were, and that was tight. Do you remember the name of the young lady who was right behind you?
Juliana Reagan.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So she's an amazing vocalist too.
Yeah.
So and Paul Stangetta's band. What are they called?
Apocalypse After Party.
Oh my gosh, they're so much fun. Apocalypse After Party, and they are a party. Trust me. Yeah. So it's going to be a great night, obviously. On top of all the fun Bon Sioux stuff with the fireworks and the food and the cash bar and the speeches and all that, and Mr. Bon Sioux and everything. You guys are going to top off the evening with the entertainment. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there.
All right,
absolutely, and you should be there too. But to give us a taste of what Adrian Sullivan does when he writes and sings and plays, that's coming up. I'm going to get out of your way, Adrian, and we're going to let you get your guitar and take over. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Adrian Sullivan. What's the name of the song again?
Something to Believe in.
Adrian Sullivan, Something to Believe in.
When I'm falling off, when all I see is but a stop, I have you and you give me something to believe in. When I had no thought on all I would do to keep it on, I had you and you gave me something to believe in. I won't go down, turning me round when I'm seeing you. Just turn me round, making a sound that I need you. Make something out of it, take all I can, 'cause I need to. Brighter than the sun. never stop. Call on me, I'll give you something you believe in. When you've had enough, you don't want to hear my voice talk. Take a leave and find yourself something you believe in. I won't go down, telling me rhyming and singing. All I could see, what harmony I could make true. I wouldn't like to say I'll let it go away, do you? Brighter than the sun, your eyes would shine on mine. Your hair hanging down, no need for sound, just space.
This is On TV.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. If you smoked weed, wait at least 4 hours before getting behind the wheel, or don't drive at all if you're new to it, have eaten it, or if you've mixed it with alcohol.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Imagine knowing about incidents, closures, and roadwork all before starting your trip. Ontario 511 lets you know before you go. You can get real-time information directly from the Ministry of Transportation. Because the more you know, the easier it is for you to go. And spend the time doing the things that matter most.
All right, so can you imagine this? You're a fisherman, and you live in a village in Guam.
Okay.
Okay. So there's two guys, and they're going to check their shrimp traps.
Nets, yeah.
Yeah. So Jesus Duenas and Manuel de Gracia. Okay. It's 1972 in Guam. And they're walking through, checking there, and all of a sudden, out from the jungle comes this guy who attacks you. And it turns out he's a Japanese sergeant who's been hiding in the Guam jungle for almost 28 years since the end of World War I.
Stop it!
Japanese sergeant Shoichi Yokoi, I believe. He the war ended in 1945, but in 1944 the U.S. regained control of the island of Guam. Okay, so this guy went into hiding because Japanese soldiers are taught it's better to die than to be captured.
Right.
And he didn't want to do either, so he hid in a cave in the jungle for almost 28 years. And so when the fisherman came walking along, the shrimp fisherman, he thought they were going to capture him because he thought the war was still going on.
Oh my God, that poor man.
And so they subdued him and they brought him to the village. and they fed him some soup, and then they made arrangements and he went back to Japan.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I saw that on Gilligan's Island. Honestly, does anybody remember that episode where there was a Japanese soldier who was hiding in the jungles in Gilligan's Island and he didn't know the war was over?
No, I don't remember that one.
I think that's a true thing.
Really?
Well,
That poor man. 28 years?
What did he eat? What did he eat for 28 years?
What do you wear? Apparently you don't care.
Ask the woman who folds her socks inside out and keeps them filed in a filing cabinet.
I mean, a filing cabinet under her asks for socks.
Christy Brinkley is not healing.
No, she's old. I mean,
well, she's 65.
Yeah, she's older than I am. So yeah, she's not healing.
And she fell in Dancing with the Stars, and she broke her arm.
Bad.
And it's the wrist that's really giving her problems. She may have to have more surgery on the wrist.
Oh, really? There's pins and stuff?
She's trying a new thing. It's been 4 months since that fall.
Wow.
And she still can't straighten her arm.
Ooh,
apparently.
I'd be scared.
So there's a thing. It's called platelet-rich plasma injection. They inject your own platelets into the air. Look at her.
To sort of
65. Heal. Go on, my soul.
Yeah, you know what? If I had her money, I'd look like that too.
Yeah. So anyway, she's going to go for these injections. They're supposed to help injured tendons, ligaments, muscle joints, and stuff. The platelets.
I hope it works out for her.
Yeah. Well, she's going to be in some sort of a circus show, and she has to be able to use her arm. I don't know what she's planning on doing in the circus
Really?
show. I don't think she should do any more shows that involve things like dancing or circus acts,
Well,
frankly.
you're going to fall down and break yourself
Don't fall down again.
That's horrible. You know, we were talking about the Justin Bieber documentary.
Yes.
Taylor Swift has a doc as well, and it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival.
Really?
Either last night or the night before. And in the documentary, for the first time, she talks about her struggle with body image and an eating disorder.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, and she says that she has a really hard time looking at photographs of herself because sometimes they trigger her instinct to stop eating. When she was 18 years old, some reporter published a picture and someone said, Taylor, pregnant at 18.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And she said, I didn't eat for a week. A week.
You still have baby fat at that age. That's what that is.
Oh my God, that's like a cinnamon bun. You know, once you go to the bathroom, it's gone.
When you're an 18-year-old woman,
Oh
your
my
body's
gosh.
not. It's still morphing. It's still finding its way.
It's trying to figure
That's
out
like
the
Jessica
difference.
Simpson,
right?
She says that Tommy Mottola told her that she had to lose weight when she was 17 years old. He said, if you want to sign with me, you're going to have to lose weight. 17 years old, she was 5'3" and 118 pounds, and he said, lose weight.
Because she had a round face.
She said, what are you talking about? He said, that's what it's going to take if you want to be Jessica Simpson. So she went on a strict diet. She took diet pills. At 17, she was 20 years of diet pills.
Oh my word.
By the time she did her second album, her first single of her second album, she was down to 103 pounds.
Oh.
And she said everybody was complimenting her on how great she looked. She said, but I was hungry and exhausted all the time.
And cranky, no doubt.
I would imagine.
And then she also became addicted. She talks about that a little bit.
20 years of diet pills.
But also addicted to drinking. And she says, I read a quote just this morning that she said, I realized I had to stop drinking when I couldn't dress my kids for Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that sad?
Isn't that sad?
So what, people don't realize what they're doing. I know people, I know somebody who was a dancer, who's the dance studio owner told this girl, teenager, that if she wanted to remain dancing in competition, and they gave her a diet and said, go on this diet. She went directly to her caregiver and said, this is what my dance teacher told me I have to do if I want to remain in competition. So they pulled her out of that dance school.
Here in the Sioux?
I'm not going to say.
That is horrible. That's horrible. How do you get over that? That's terrible. Shame. Shame on you.
Let's go on to what's next.
Edie's coming. No, the news is first, but Edie's here.
Edie is here.
Yes.
Bush Plane Edie, ladies and gentlemen. I love calling her that. Edie Suriano from the Bush Plane Museum, one of the hardest working women in Sault Ste.
Oh my gosh.
I swear by God. Bon Tots is coming up and Bush Plane is hosting it. They're so gracious at the Bush Plane, giving that beautiful venue to the Bon Sioux for free because it's a community event. So anyway, we're going to talk about Bon Tots after Luann has the news. We'll see you in a minute.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Elementary teachers are on strike today at schools in the Blue Water and Ontario Northeast school boards. It's the 5th day of rotating one-day strikes by members of the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, and they're also set to continue into next week. ETFO President Sam Hammond says the main issues in bargaining include resources for students with special needs and protection of full-day kindergarten, while Education Minister Stephen Lecce says compensation is the main issue. The union representing teachers in the French system says it will start phase 2 of a work-to-rule campaign on Tuesday. They won't say yet what their ramped-up measures will entail, but the first phase has mostly affected administrative duties. Hamilton police say a 7-year-old boy has been shot in the city. Police spokesperson Jackie Penman says officers were called to the scene just before 8 last night. She says he was transported to hospital and was in stable condition. Penman also says the boy was shot at a home in the city's East End, but would not say if it was the boy's residence. She says there isn't a suspect description at this time. The Canadian government is rolling out information rather than surgical masks and thermal scanners to try to keep the country safe from a virus that has already killed more than 24 people in China and left hundreds more sick. Yesterday, the World Health Organization chose not to declare a global health emergency because of the disease, even as China quarantined more territory around the city at the heart of the outbreak, Wuhan, to prevent its spread. Sometimes the effects are very mild. Sometimes in some people they can actually be lethal. The virus that caused severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, back in 2003 was a coronavirus. Even as Chinese officials were scrambling to contain the outbreak and 5 people were being monitored for the coronavirus in Quebec, Canada's chief medical officer was playing down the chances of an outbreak here. Some countries, such as the Philippines, have installed thermal scanners in their airports to detect potential carriers of the disease. Canada has no plans to follow suit. Dr. Theresa Tam said during a technical briefing with reporters, the risk of an outbreak in Canada remains low. Tam also said that during the SARS outbreak, millions of people were scanned and they didn't pick up a single case. She added that there could be many days between being infected and being symptomatic or having a fever.
We've seen across this country that millions of Canadians cannot access the medication they need because they can't afford it. Millions of Canadians are making the tough choice between paying for their bills, paying for their groceries, or paying for their medication.
Meanwhile, the New Democrats are planning to bring forward legislation to implement a national universal pharmacare program. NDP House Leader Peter Julian is set to table a private member's bill at his first opportunity after Parliament resumes next week. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says he's heard platitudes from the Liberals about the importance of a national drug plan, but he says Canadians struggling with drug costs cannot afford to wait.
About the importance of national pharmacare, but we've not seen concrete action. We've seen them move very quickly to defend the profits of the pharmaceutical industry, but we haven't seen them move to protect families that can't afford medication. Our healthcare system needs this desperately, and that's why today I'm proud to announce that we will be following through on our commitment to make the first bill that we're tabling a bill that will lay out the framework for a national universal pharmacare for.
When we're done, we believe that we will have made the case overwhelmingly of the president's guilt. That is, he's done what he's charged with.
Democratic U.S. Congressman Adam Schiff, the lead impeachment manager, concluded yesterday's arguments by saying that President Trump is a danger to the country and should be removed from office.
Telling him this Ukraine 2016 stuff is kooky, crazy Russian propaganda. He chose not to believe them. He chose to believe Rudy Giuliani. That makes him dangerous to us, to our country. And you know, you can't trust this president to do what's right for this country. You can trust he will do what's right for Donald Trump. He'll do it now. He's done it before. He'll do it for the next several months. He'll do it in the election if he's allowed to. This is why, if you find him guilty, you must find that he should be removed.
One half price. Inventory time is here for 2 days only at Mio's Furniture Fashions. Find half the store for one half price.
Divided by 2.
Cut it in half.
Take 50% off whatever you call it. Furniture, recliners, mattresses, and more.
One half price.
Floor samples, one-of-a-kinds, discontinued stock.
One half price for 2 days only at Mio's Furniture Fashions to find half the store for one half price.
And only at Mio's Furniture Fashions.
261 Trunk Road.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Oh, you're always guaranteed a good time when Edie comes on the morning show. You are so delightful. Edie Soriano from the Bush Plane Museum. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. Thanks for having me again.
Always a pleasure, Edie. Yeah. Hey, we're gearing up for Bonsu.
We are.
You brought this in. This is a wonderful little souvenir. What would you call this? A memorabilia.
Yes.
Ontario, this is appreciation. I'll hold that up, Jacob, and I'll read it while you get that. It says, Ontario Winter Carnival Award of Appreciation. The Bonsu Board of Directors is pleased to present this award to Ontario Bush Plane Museum in recognition of your participation in the Ontario Winter Carnival Bonsu. This is from 1993, Edie. Signed by Jim McDonald. Oh my gosh. Jim McDonald. Oh, that's is he the retired vet?
Yeah. He was the president of Bonsu back then.
That's his daughter watches our show from.
Yes.
This is your dad was the president of Bonsu in 27 years.
Yeah, that's how long the Bush Plane has been supporting the Ontario Winter Carnival.
27
years.
And so now this year, you got really big news though for Bon Tots this year.
Yes.
So how many years? I don't even know how many years Bon Tots has been going on.
Well, you know, as far as I remember, it's been almost 10 years.
Really? Okay.
Bon Tots has been with me since I started.
Since you started.
And Bon Tots is a fun event.
Well, it's a great
and
event.
It's not just for little tykes, it's for everybody, even though it's called Bon Tots Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday Fun Day. Which Sunday is it? February the 2nd.
February 2nd, so it's coming fast.
Now, I've been to Bon Tots. Yeah. And so I participated 1 year. Yeah. All the mascots are there. The kids love that. They get to pose with all the mascots. There's performances. There's crafts. This year we also have 17 barbells. Have you heard of this new... No, I'm not even good with one barbell. Never mind 17. What do 17 barbells do? It's an exercise place. Or it's not exercise. It's Ninja Turtle. You know Ninja? I know Ninja. Okay, so this is Ninja. This is a new company that's just formed. Tyler Belanger. Here's his little plug for his new business that he's doing. You need to come on the show. Yeah, so he's doing the Ninja Warrior obstacle course for the kids. So is it like a fitness thing for kids? Yeah. So and become a ninja. And you know what? It's all about balance and coordination, and I've never been there and I have no intentions really of going, to be honest with you. I'm not an exerciser. His business is called 17 Barbells? Yes, that's what it's called. So they are going to be at Bon Tots. Okay. So that's something new that the kids... People don't realize that he's opened this business, and it's something new for the kids to do. Absolutely, yes. From 7 up to 17, I believe, plus adults. Really? He does it with adults too. So yeah, it's very cool. A ninja obstacle course. Yes. When does this all start, Edie? It's from 12 to 4. From noon to 4 p.m. Sunday the 2nd of February. We also have our concession going. We take care of the concession, so you come for hamburgers, hot dogs, grilled cheese sandwiches, popcorn, typical concession stuff that we do there. So you can come for lunch, stay for the whole day, have lots of fun. Entertainment games, is this thing? Yeah, show this awesome picture. First of all, let's just say entry to Bon Tots. Of course, if you've got your Bonsu button. Yep. I don't know where mine is. I have an old pin on. Look. My Bonsu button's on my Bonsu hoodie. I wore it the other day. There you go. So they're $8 this year, but you get to into all the activities, including Bon Tots. Yes. If you don't have a button, I guess there's a. We sell them there too. You sell the buttons at the door. But listen, here's the deal. You ready? You have a brand new exhibit starting up. On February 1st, it opens. It opens the day before Bon Tots. The day before. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. And it is? Hockey. Now, this is really going to be a celebration on a particular day. When is the hockey day you talked about? So, the exhibit, the Hockey Day in Canada is on Saturday, February 8th, so you're having a big actual hockey day in Canada. That's cool. And we have a ton of things that are happening on that day. On the 8th, Saturday, February the 8th, it's 12 hours of events, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yepers. Show your colors and wear your favorite hockey jersey to get reduced admission. That's cool. Yes. So, what is games, merchandise, televised coverage of coast-to-coast Hockey Day in Canada programming? Yeah. And special guests. That's right. So you gotta come. You don't know who those special guests are going to be. Bring your hockey stick and join in the action. You'll have nets and balls outside for pickup games and additional fun. Win tickets to see the Greyhounds play that night. There you go. You're going to show the Hounds game and NHL matchups on site. Beaver tail trucks on site and concessions and the Cash Bar open at 11 a.m. Yes, we have a bar too. So there's a Facebook page for this. Yes. So, and this is Facebook page? This is the exhibit is coming from the Canadian Museum of History. It's one of their traveling exhibits. From the Canadian Museum of History. And Edie, it says here that if you want to come just for this exhibit, for instance, if you go on the first day, which is, so it's there from February 1st to March 29th. Yes. So it's there for a good long time. To see this exhibit, the charge is $13.50 for an adult, $12.50 for senior students, $8, 13 to 21, children 3 and under free. But listen, you can take advantage of Bonsu. That's right. You go in for Bon Tots with your $8 pin, you don't gotta pay that fee to see this exhibit. You go in with your button. So if you want to check out the hockey exhibit, a great day to go is take your Bonsu button and go for Bon Tots on February the 2nd. And in Chomaka is at the Bush Plain. Are they there? Wait. They will be open for Bon Tots. No way! So they get to see hockey, they get to see bugs, they get to see airplanes, they get to see Mr. Bonsu. Oh, win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. And if you don't happen to get in there or you want to go back again for the big celebration on February the 8th, that sounds like a great event too. Well, we're going to talk, I'm going to have Dan on the show. Yes.
Yeah.
Dan's going to join me on the show to talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
But this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
$8, get your Bond Soup tick buttons, and even if you're not a Bond Tot, you can go to the Bush Plane, check out the Hockey Museum, Atomica.
Bush Plane.
I love that Atomica's there in time for Bond Tots.
Yes.
So they've moved, by the way, if you didn't know, if you've been under a rock, Atomica's has moved now from the Mill Market, and they have a brand new, beautiful home with their own entrance off that gorgeous atrium at the Bush Plane.
Yes, they do.
Hey, Roberta Bonner, we just had her anniversary.
Far out, eh?
I know.
How many years? Can you believe that?
Wow.
And we're still saluting her, and we'll always salute her.
You always will. You have a beautiful tribute to Roberta down that hallway there. Listen, we got to go, Edie.
Good.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We'll see you at Bond Tots February the 2nd, and we'll see you in just a minute on Mornings with Luann and Tim. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. How does anybody look at a little beautiful little creature like that and not want to take it home? Hi, Laura.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm great now that I see this little fella. He's one of 3 puppies that you got.
Yes.
Tell me how this happens.
Well, these little guys were just left in our after hours box.
Somebody just dropped off 3 beautiful, gorgeous puppies.
Yeah, probably the last of a litter that they couldn't get rid of, and it's better to get them to us sooner than later. This age is so easy
Mixed
to...
breed?
Mixed breed, yeah. There's
guessing
lab shepherd, probably.
Yeah. Have you named this little guy?
We haven't named any of them.
Look at, you're going to be a good sized fella.
They are.
Yeah, that's a big paw.
It is, and they're only about 8 weeks old. So.
How do puppies like this? Are they okay in the pound? Like, or do they get a little traumatized by all the?
Sometimes the first night's usually terrifying for them.
I would imagine.
Yeah, especially when it's busy and the barking and the big dogs. They usually spend the whole night kind of at the very back of their run.
His coloring is gorgeous.
Yeah, there's 2 of them this color, and the other little brother looks exactly more like a shepherd.
More like a shepherd.
The
so
brown and
lab
tan
shepherd cross.
Yeah, because these 2 look just like little labs.
Are they ready for adoption? How old?
They're 8 weeks old. So we figure they're about 8 to 9 weeks old.
So you figure it's about time that they go up for adoption?
Today should be the day that they go up.
Oh, really? Today's the day?
Yep.
Now, there's no issue getting rid of these dogs. I mean, people adopt them, I would imagine, quickly.
Yeah, I think we still probably pretty much have a binder full of, if we have a hard time, we have people who have in the past expressed interest in puppies that we can call and see if they've found a dog or...
He's so docile.
He's shell shocked. So I mean,
there's a little shell shocked, eh? So that's what his response is.
Yeah. So he's nervous.
How have they been? You've seen them over the weeks. How are they? Good natured. Good
natured. Super sweet. Super easygoing. The little shepherd one. He's feisty. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the hyper.
The one with the personality.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He already kind of runs forward when you go to his run and.
Now, it's going to be when do we get dogs neutered? 3 months?
6.
6 months. So in 6 months, these dogs will have to be neutered.
Neutered, yes.
But that you get a discount of, is it 60 or 90?
90 for the dogs.
When you adopt a dog, there's a $90 credit towards the neutering.
Yes.
So it's 100 and what for these?
130.
130. That's nothing. That's like $40 for administration fees to adopt the dog.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't make money on adoptions.
No, you don't make money.
No.
You don't make, the way you make money is through fundraising and people making donations.
Exactly.
It must mean a lot to you when you get someone like a real animal lover who passes, and their choices for when people are making, instead of in lieu of flowers, they choose the Humane Society.
That makes a huge difference in the day-to-day operations of the shelter. We can use that sort of money to do building improvements, do surgeries on animals that maybe otherwise would be very cost prohibitive. We've got a dog right now that we're actually lining up to do a very expensive knee surgery on.
Really?
That otherwise, in a Humane Society budget, it wouldn't be something that we'd be able to afford. So those types of things mean an absolute.
Keep the Humane Society in mind when you're thinking about those sorts of things and getting them some extra funds or making donations. And of course, you're always looking for things like blankets and soft cat food and
absolutely toys.
So these little guys aren't going to have a problem being adopted. I'm glad to hear that. How are you doing for cats?
We're still full.
Okay, get in there and adopt some cats. And also, the truth is, Laura told me it is true, cats do not meow at each other.
No.
Meowing has been
adapted for humans.
For humans, something you'll learn on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
If you watch cat interaction with each other, it's all body language.
Wow. Okay, so Laura's at the Humane Society and she's got lots of beautiful animals up for adoption. Go and see her and give this little guy and his brothers a home. And we'll be back with Luann after this. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Happy Friday, my friend.
You too.
It's hunting season, so this is probably pretty stupid, right? Actually, hunting accidents kill somewhere around 2 people a year in Ontario. Smoking kills 16,000 a year. So, what's really stupid?
Great news Laura shared with me. Mickey Mouse, the gray cat that was on the show last week.
Yes.
Somebody saw the show and went in and adopted Mickey Mouse, the gray cat.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I love that. Laura
Thank you for doing that.
But Laura said she almost cried because she loved that cat.
I mean, she falls in love with all the animals, but she had this thing with Mickey Mouse.
She's the best.
Yeah, and what a sweet, sweet cat and the dog today.
Good puppy. Okay. Hey, have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
I'm going to host a Sippin' and Stilettos tonight.
Oh, awesome. Are you wearing them?
Joan Rivers and Gina. Yes, I'll be wearing my stilettos.
Wow, you're going to be busy.
Busy boy.
Busy, busy, busy. Have a great time.
And you're going to see your mom. Say hi.
I'm going to see my mom down to the Espanoodle.
And we'll see you guys
on Monday.